This is KVUE News Night Beat.
Another high-rise planned for Austin, and the location might come as a surprise. We have a first look at the development plans. A federal judge rules on federal money and sanctuary cities. The same day, Austin's mayor meets with the Attorney General about the same topic. And a school announcing a meeting for parents after an outcry over what they call a mishandled sexual assault case. A 30-story high-rise full of residential, office, and retail space could be added to Austin's skyline. But the catch is where? It'll be steps away from the Austin Resource Center for the Homeless, or ARCH. The Night Beat's Brandon Jones explains why some don't see that as a negative.
Well, Quita, the land is owned by the Episcopal Church, and they hope that the property will be more than just the latest high-rise. They want it to be a destination spot. The sights and sounds of downtown Austin are ones to remember. To say the city is vibrant is an understatement, but just a few blocks over is quite a different story. Here at the Arch and surrounding areas, you'll see the city's homeless. But could you imagine the Arch's neighbors could look like this? A tower somewhere in the 30-story range that would be considered a mixed-use development. The National Episcopal Church is behind the building. Reverend Canon Lang Lowry spoke to us by phone Tuesday.
You'll always have homeless people among you, so we don't see that as a negative.
Why? Lowry says Mayor Steve Adler has come up with a good plan to address homelessness, and the church fully supports it.
The issue there is that just the facility seems to underserve. It's just too many people.
The church bought the block in 2009 with plans to build a National Archives facility. The nearly 70,000 square foot facility would be a part of the high-rise.
We really wanted a concept to go around with our archives that would not only make a living archives for us, but make a spot where people would want to come to. Mission
and ministry are two things Lowry told us comes to mind about this project. The idea of a hotel could be in the works as well. However, financial details, according to Lowry, should be released in about 3 months. Now, the project will require approval from city leaders. If given the green light, construction could begin in 2018. In downtown Austin, Brandon Jones, KVUE News, Night Beat.
Austin school officials are going to meet with parents about an alleged sexual assault of a 4-year-old girl at school. A message sent to parents from Boone Elementary in South Austin says school staff will be there to answer questions. We've been covering the story since it broke Friday. School police closed the investigation back in February without pulling medical records that showed the young girl had signs of a traumatic assault. The case has now been reopened. The meeting about the incident is Thursday night from 6 to 7 in the Boone Elementary cafeteria. A California federal judge ruling tonight President Donald Trump can't withhold federal funds from so-called sanctuary cities. ABC's Janai Norman is in Washington with more.
Another setback for President Trump just days out from his 100th day in office. Today brings the score between the White House and the courts 3-0. Federal judges have twice halted the president's travel bans, and now a ruling out of San Francisco halting part of an order aimed at punishing so-called sanctuary cities by withholding federal funds.
This is why we have courts, to halt the overreach of a president and attorney general who either don't understand the Constitution or choose to ignore it.
The Trump administration targeted sanctuary cities, saying they allow dangerous criminals back on the street, arguing the order is necessary to keep the country safe.
The wall's going to get built, folks. Just in case anybody has any question, the wall's going to get built, and the wall is going to stop drugs, and it's going to stop a lot of people from coming in that shouldn't be here.
But mayors of those cities pushed back.
It was an attempt to bully jurisdictions like San Francisco and Santa Clara into abandoning their sanctuary city policies by the use of an unconstitutional executive order.
Attorneys for San Francisco and Santa Clara counties sought an injunction to block the executive order. And today, a judge granted that injunction, deciding the president has no authority to attach new conditions to federal spending. This comes following a federal appeals court blocking the president's first travel ban. That was eventually revised and remains stalled in the courts following a second ruling. And now this marks the third legal hurdle for President Trump and his controversial executive orders. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Also today, Austin Mayor Steve Adler met with U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions to see if Sessions considers Austin a sanctuary city. Mayor Adler says Sessions told him no, based on a federal statute. With today's federal court ruling, only state grants are in jeopardy right now. In February, Governor Greg Abbott decided to withhold $1.5 million from Travis County. The Texas House is set to vote on SB 4 tomorrow. The bill will require all Texas law enforcement honor ICE detainers, which are voluntary requests to hold someone while their immigration status is investigated. It's expected to pass along party lines. The investigation continues tonight into an accident in North Austin that left one person dead. It happened just before 4:30. Parts of the Mopac and 183 interchange in North Austin were shut down for hours after a motorcyclist went off the flyover, falling 100 feet. Investigators don't believe alcohol or speed was a factor. Paramedics say the motorcyclist was a female in her 20s. Her name has not been released. She was wearing a helmet. Well, this man could spend up to 99 years in prison if he's found guilty of setting a fire at an East Austin home last night. Fire investigators say 27-year-old Arturo Sada started the fire, then pointed a gun at responding firefighters. Sada then barricaded himself in a room, eventually surrendering to a SWAT team at around midnight. 2 other people inside that home were not hurt. Former President George H.W. Bush will be in the hospital a little longer than expected. Doctors say he beat pneumonia but continues to battle the effects of chronic bronchitis, a condition exacerbated by his age. Bush is 92 years old. His office says the former president could be home by the end of the week.
A taste of summer this afternoon with highs in the upper 80s and low 90s. Hottest spot in the entire state of Texas, well to the southwest of us, Laredo, Webb County reporting 102. It was 90 here in Austin, 5 degrees shy of the record. Well, a cool down is headed this direction. A front stirring up some severe weather tonight in Oklahoma will pass through the area quietly tomorrow, and that will push in some cooler air for tomorrow night. But windy and hot tomorrow once again. Front to rise late in the day tomorrow, and then thunderstorm chances return for late in the weekend with yet again another front. Lots to get to in your full forecast, and it's a few minutes away.
Thanks, Albert. Early voting is now underway on 3 bond proposals in Round Rock ISD. While district officials assert it will only present a minor cost to voters, some believe those numbers don't represent the full story. KVUE's Michael Perchik joins us now in the newsroom to break down this topic. Michael?
Quita, the bond proposal addresses several topics, some caused by overcrowding, others focusing on upgrades both inside and outside the classroom. Opponents say it's not all necessary, arguing the true cost to the taxpayer could be far more than stated. In a debate where proponents and opponents don't agree on much, one thing is clear. Round Rock is growing and doing so quite quickly. More families and more students, which has led to 3 new bond proposals totaling $572 million, calling for more schools, classrooms, and athletic facilities.
People in this district are here because they love this district, and they know that we have needs, and they're willing to make this investment in the future of the district.
Catherine Hanna is the chair of Classrooms for Kids, a local political action group supporting the bond. So what does the proposal cover? It calls for a new elementary school and high school, a new career tech high school, expansion of current schools, improved technology on campuses, a new aquatic center and athletic facility, and the purchase of land for future developments. Round Rock ISD trustee Mason Moses says the proposal will help maintain the district's current success.
And we love those expectations. We want those expectations to continue, and which is why the board thought this bond was needed.
But opponents say that's just part of the picture. Patrick McGinnis is a part of Round Rock Parents and Taxpayers, a group that opposes the bond.
We've got questions about the high school number 6. There were questions about boundary changes, about what's needed.
A key issue, money. Roger Falk with the Travis County Taxpayers Union believes the district is over-reliant on ideal projections, adding the proposal is excessive.
It's more like a Christmas wish list than it is a sensible plan to mitigate the growth issues there. There's a lot of excesses in this bond.
So to the proposed increases. According to the district's research, if all three propositions pass, it will result in an annual tax rate increase of $26.74 per homeowner. But McGinnis and Falk believe that only represents a fraction of the annual costs, which they peg at $348 per homeowner. So how do they come up with such different numbers? We're going to post the data on our website, KVUE.com, so you can see how they arrived at these projections. In the newsroom, I'm Michael Perchik, KVUE News Nightbeat.
Thanks, Michael.